Parfait. Voilà, je suis Roland Buti.
My name's Roland Buti. I'm here in my office, which is where I write and where I work. You can't see it, but there's a big window there, and outside you can see the countryside looking down over Lausanne, for those who are familiar with it. I'm a history teacher in a sixth form, a gymnase as it's known here, and I have been for several years now. I really enjoy this profession for allowing me to pass on to these young people lessons of history that help us to understand events that are happening now. That's a major objective for me. Other than that, um, I write. My last book, which is called Le Milieu de l'Horizon in French, was translated into English, which I'm very proud of. Its title in English is Year of the Drought. Unfortunately, my English is terrible. It's a beautiful cover, and it was published by Old Street in London. And it was even released in paperback. I stumbled upon this in Dublin Airport, and so I bought it. My latest book is Con National. Here it is. It was also translated into German as Das Leben ist ein wilder Garten. And I love the cover of the Italian version, which was published under the same title in Milan. So, there you have it. Grand National is a story of Carolo, who's a landscape gardener, whose elderly mother has been living in a retirement home. Then, one day, she disappears. She vanishes, and after a lot of anxiety, he ends up finding her. It turns out that she's been hiding out in an old hotel, a luxury hotel. There are quite a few of them around here on the shores of Lake Geneva. They're hotels that were built at the end of the 19th century, largely for English clients, rich ones, coming in search of fresh air. That's how it's sold to them, who wanted to escape the smog and the coal fumes of London. So, after finding his mother there, she ends up staying there. He moves her into the hotel permanently, and gradually he starts to learn about the part of his mum's life he never knew about, particularly her experiences as a young girl growing up during the Second World War. So that's a bit about the storyline. But I'd say fundamentally, the book's about how often we don't truly know the people we live with. We only know one part of them, the part we interact with. But there's always a part shrouded in mystery. The mother has her mysterious side, and so does Carlo. And the book is also about a separation. Carlo finds out that his wife, who he shared a home with, is becoming a stranger to him. And even with our own parents, it's hard to really know what their lives were like before we were born. And then the book is also about nature and about gardens, which is a subject that fascinates me. Carlo's a landscape gardener. He designs gardens for the rich foreigners coming to live in Switzerland nowadays, for tax reasons, usually. So he creates these gardens to remind them of their home countries. Russian gardens, Chinese gardens, so that when these people open the window, they feel like they're back home. But as he's going through this difficult period in his life, he ends up finding refuge in an allotment, a family garden belonging to his employee, who's from the Balkans. And he ends up discovering that this Balkan employee also has a life he didn't know about, a tragic backstory. But he finds refuge in the allotment, which is a tiny plot with a little shed, the kind you often see in the suburbs here. And for me, gardens are such an interesting topic because nowadays there's this trend for gardening. Here in Switzerland, and even more so in England, this idea of controlling a little corner of nature, taming it, while at the same time, it feels like the natural world has gone mad, that we've lost control of it. Global warming, viruses. And throughout every period of history when things have been going wrong, we've had this temptation to retreat into the garden, this mini Eden or mini Xanadu, which belongs to us and that we can master.